Hey, great to see you guys today for our daily dose. And we're going through this study as a church called Divine Direction. And no doubt we all need God to speak some things to us and to direct us. In the season we're going through, our families, wherever you are, we believe that God is speaking. The question is, are we listening? Are we hearing what He's saying to us? And we want to encourage you with this, that I think one of the greatest ways we can tune our ears to the voice of God is not in our worship, not in our praise, not in our doing, but it's in our serving. And I love this because I think that God speaks to us in regards to this thought. 1 Corinthians 13, suck it.
How did I know that was going to happen?
You got to keep the I suck it in there. You got to do like a blooper reel.
Did you see the one we did?
I actually haven't seen it.
We did one. But some of these, we've had some of these that aren't in there. Like I might have cussed once or twice. Dang it. Okay, I'm good. That was better though. We were interacting, just the content was not that great. All right, we good?
Yeah. And...
Hey, what's happening, guys? Great to see you today as we're going through this daily dose study of divine direction. And no doubt many of us want to hear God and need His direction, but the challenge I think for us is, are we listening? Are we tuned into His voice? And today we want to talk about one of the greatest subjects I think throughout Scripture that will really tune our ear to the voice of God, that will give us, lend our ear to what He is saying. And I can't help but think of this verse in 1 Corinthians 11. It's a verse that Paul says with boldness, listen to these words, imitate me as I imitate Christ. I used to love that verse, and I used to think, man, I want that to be a life verse because I want to be so confident that I'm living like Jesus that you can model your life after me. But when I really began to look at how Jesus lived, it wasn't the easiest verse to live out because Jesus said this. Here was His life mission. I've come to serve and not be served. Imitating Jesus starts with this willingness to say, God, I'm going to serve those around me. And I think He's called us to do that. And in our serving, could He be speaking instead of our receiving? And I don't know about you, Bobby, but I think God is moving in this area of serving. And why don't you just share what God's doing through your life right now?
Yeah, I know Galatians 5:14 says, love your neighbor as yourself. And, to do something for somebody else's benefit, and not for our own. And I've had the opportunity in the past couple of weeks to help people out, that are in need. Just weed eating their yard, and taking care of that for them because they don't have the ability to go out and do that for themselves. And it's been just for them. It's been nothing. I've got nothing out of it. It's just to help them out. And so, God's been dealing with me that, with this whole thing, the past few months actually. I'm doing a study with my kids right now in the book of James, and that's all about taking action, not just having words, and saying things, but being able to, to put action to it. And so, we've had that opportunity to do it. I've been blessed by it, and just seeing the reactions of other people, the people that are receiving it, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool.
And no doubt in our serving, we hear God even more clearly with things that He's speaking because I believe God has created us in a way to be givers, not just getters. And in our life, I believe that one of the greatest ways, and I think you'd agree, Bobby, that one of the greatest conduits that God speaks to us, not maybe audibly, but we hear His voice, is when we're giving, when we're serving. His great commandment, Jesus said, was to love God. Secondly, was to love your neighbor. And one of the greatest ways we love our neighbor is not with words, but it's with our actions. And God's calling us in this day to serve. Could it be that His voice is speaking, but we tune in by serving? What could you do this week for somebody? How could you serve someone? It's not doing what you want to do, but it may be going out and doing what someone else needs you to do. Yeah. I challenge you today, serve well and tune your ear because God's going to speak and download things for you, your family. You need miracles. You need answers. You need a move of God, but it starts in what you do moving for others instead of just asking God to move on your behalf. We love you. God bless you. Find someone, serve well, and I dare you, God's going to speak to you. Have a great day.